Hallelujah. All right, it's time to share some state secrets. So let's ask some questions and let's talk about some stuff because I want to make this brief. First, the Lord spoke to me and told me that Karen Bass, the mayor of Los Angeles, she's setting up a deep state in the city of LA by firing people who've been working for many years in their job, rearranging the department so that she can justify firing employees without getting sued for wrongful termination. And then she's reestablishing offices under different names and hiring her own personal friends and paying them really well, even many of them unqualified for the job. That's what Obama did. That's why the United States is in such a turmoil right now. Or actually not so much now because of Trump. Trump's been in office for about a year so far. Well, a little bit less than a year. But the point is, Karen Bass is putting a bunch of her, I hate to call them lesbos. So we'll just, okay, so listen, we got all this gender identity stuff. We got the LGBTQ plus community. But really everything comes down to lesbian, gay, or bisexual. Those trans men, those are lesbians. Those trans women, those are gay men. Okay? All the non-binaries and the gender not neutrals and whatever they are, those are the bisexuals. So it still goes back down to the three LGBT, lesbian, gay, bisexual. And one reason they're trying to change that is because the word gay has become a slang term for something lame or terrible. Oh man, did you see that guy? He just bought a car. That car is so gay. You know, that it's, and anyway, so you got to understand. So now let's get into some state secrets. Why would Russia state in 2016 that if Hillary Clinton wins, it's war? Well, here's why. Okay. It wasn't Russia that said that. It was China that made that demand. It was because of what happened in Taizhou 2015. Okay? So somebody is placing the blame of the Taizhou bombing or explosion on Hillary Clinton. And I would guess that that's a state secret. How do I know? Because in 2015, I spoke a prophetic word, and the prophecy was, and this was straight from God. I know it's 100% true. Because the Spirit of God came upon me in church, and I spoke it out loud. Like, it was Russia, Iran, Turkey, and North Korea were planning to destroy America, and Obama is part of it. That means that Obama, from before he was even elected as president, was an asset for Russia, Iran, and Turkey. And what I remember, and I specifically remember this, is how I thought, well, that's interesting. I just said Russia, Iran, Turkey, and North Korea. And I remember thinking, why wasn't China part of that prophecy? And I prayed about it, and the Lord said, because China's not involved in that. China at that time did not plan or have any future plans to destroy America in the beginning of 2015. It was only after the Taizhou explosion that China changed their ideology. Now, they always had kind of cutthroat business practices, and one reason for the Taizhou explosion was because Taizhou was shipping out of that port building materials that were poisonous, and they were coming here to the United States, and builders were building homes that were made out of some sort of poisonous material, and the homes would smell really bad, and people who lived there would get sick and couldn't stay. And so we had some homes that were built that really had to be demolished. And I don't know what they ended up doing with the properties. I think they had to demolish them all because the core support, I think they soaked the wood in some sort of poisonous, like instead of dumping their poisonous byproducts from their industries into the lakes and the seas and the rivers, they poured it into, they somehow found, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying that's, China was doing some pretty bad stuff. Okay. So yeah, so there's your state secrets for today. Somebody tell them not to target me for that. It's freedom of speech. If God reveals it to me. Oh yeah, what you need to know is that they're all these Democrats are building as best as they can. They're building deep state, just like what Obama did by firing all the good people and putting a bunch of Muslims, secret Muslims, in high places in the government. And then, of course, they're doing the same thing in London. We got Mayor Khan. You know, Gavin Newsom, he sat down with the Chinese Communist Party and they offered him a position to be the Kim Jong-un of California. In other words, permanent governor for life, supreme ruler. And basically, Trump came in and messed up his plans. So he had plans to be, I'm just saying, so these people are criminals. Over the next 4 years, hopefully Trump is reelected for 2028. Then in around 2030, I don't know. This is speculation here. Nuclear war.